Welcome back, Better Self community. So today is like really the no bullshit guide to 10 things that really changed my life. I've been working and helping people reacclimate themselves to being healthy in their own life. After a little while, you stop to feel like yourself. You start to feel bogged down. You lose your confidence. You start to realize how unhealthy you actually got. My promise to you is that these 10 tips will help you guys get back on the saddle and really start that journey towards being the best version of you possible, because that's the main goal. Number one is more mindfulness. So this can be anything from yoga, meditation. We'll get into meditation, but this is just really just being aware, to stop, to relax, to think, and to just be. We live in such a fast-paced lifestyle that we oftentimes lose track of our days, we lose track of our months, and then we lose track of ourselves in the long term. So there's so many different variables, so many different things thrown at us. It's information every single day, and this is just really just putting the phone away for a little bit, being mindful, being one with yourself, and really taking the time to relax and to really think for yourself. You're not listening to the television, you're not listening to any podcasts, you're not watching YouTube, and unless it's this video. And then you're really just taking that time to yourself to just get reacclimated with yourself, listen to your own voice, listen to your own thoughts, and take that time to just chill. Number two is making that guilt-free relaxation time. Again, we live in such a fast-paced lifestyle that we don't even realize that our cortisol is so skyrocketed because we are constantly in fight or flight, constantly stressed out. This deadline, that deadline, have to go pick the kids up from school, have to go do this, have to go do that. And we get so lost and so sidetracked to the point where we are forced into relaxation by possibly depression or burnout. And that is likely the biggest probability for all of you guys. I see it all the time. I work with so many different clients who are battling with burnout, depression. And that is when your body is really forcing you to rest. A lot of times we are fueled with coffee, we are fueled with all sorts of caffeine, stimulants to keep going. And that just further fatigues our adrenals and further creates a toxic environment, and then as well as further burnout. Number three, eat more quality whole foods. This is so important, and yeah, it can sound cliche, but when you're eating the diet that you're always eating, full of processed sugars, processed carbs, and you're like, yeah, okay, diet's gonna fix anything. With the clients that I have, they notice a drastic difference in their energy and mental health within 2 weeks. When you are removing all those foods from your diet, you realize that 80% of serotonin is made up in your gut, which is essentially the happy molecule. Your brain needs that in order to feel happy. This is extremely important with your diet because depending on your gut microbe, this is going to play a crucial factor in your brain health. So you also have the vagus nerve that runs from your brain to your gut, which is why your gut is called your second brain. When you start to incorporate more whole foods, you start to get rid of the bad bacteria and start to strengthen the good bacteria that's in your gut. So you can have crowded out the good bacteria by feeding the bad bacteria things like sugars, and they will multiply rapidly. So when you start to eat more whole foods, you start to eat these living foods, they make you feel more alive. And when you are eating your water essentially from the fruit that I love the most, it is a different type of breakdown. It is a living water, so your body breaks it down different. It is really hydrating compared to just drinking water. Number four, this was one of the things that really coincides with burnout and depression. I used to think the more workout days that I stacked up in a row, the better off I would be. And sometimes that is the case. It does depend on your goal, but I think also giving ourselves grace. Then if you're working out 6 times a week, maybe bumping it down to 5 or 4 days a week. And this plays a big role in your overall burnout, because if you are continuing to just add more and more and more, you are likely going to hit that wall harder, and you're going to need more time to rest and recoup. All of this matters as well as for your immune system. So the foods that you eat, the stress that you constantly have, and the burnout that is likely to occur plays a massive factor in your immune system. So sometimes scaling back, giving yourself a little bit of grace, and realizing that the rest and relaxation is sometimes just as important as the workout and the grind. And we are in that generation where it's like work, 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 grind, grind, grind. That inevitably leads to burnout. These guys don't often talk about how do you really consistently get on that trajectory of being successful and 1% every day and slow grind versus balls to the wall every single day. I wake up, I eat that frog, I lift for 6 hours, I work out for 93 hours a day. It doesn't make any sense. You have to have rest and relaxation in order to even grow. For the damage that you're doing to your muscles, you need to rest and recover. And a lot of that is not just sitting on the couch watching TV. A lot of it is doing yoga, meditation, reading, and sitting there with your brain turned off. Our central nervous system is always going. So it needs rest and recovery. It is extremely important to not overload the central nervous system. And if you do, you need to stay off the electronics. You need to read. You need to lay there and relax and just be heavy on the couch. Just let your body just be there, be present. And again, back to mindfulness. Number 5, no phone first thing in the morning. So for the first 45 minutes, I don't like to be on my phone. I don't want to answer any calls. I don't want to look at any text messages. I don't want to look at any things that are lingering for me. This is super important because whatever's on your phone is going to set the tone for the day. So if it's something negative, if you're scrolling through and you're seeing something negative, it is going to automatically go into your subconscious because you are coming out of the theta state, you are getting into alpha, and then you are eventually getting back into beta. But when you are in alpha, theta, and those higher vibration states, you are going to be tapping into the subconscious more. So when you are waking up first thing in the morning, you are coming out of those states. So your subconscious is still very alert and is like a sponge, just grabbing onto anything that it can hold. It is the perfect time to really set the tone for your day, set the foundation with your internal dialogue, be grateful, practice gratitude exercises, maybe meditate a little bit, which we'll get into those. But it is very important for you to set the tone for your day, not what is on your phone. Number 6, which leads me to meditation. This is going to be so important. And I'm like, the first time I heard meditation, I'm like, dude, you want me to sit there? Like, I'm not into it. But when I really started going through some hard times and I really started meditating, this was something that changed absolutely everything for me. So when you sit there, you have to understand the science behind it. So Joe Dispenza is an amazing person to watch, and he's kind of really the leading expert in this. But when you sit and meditate, your brain waves change. So you may go from beta to alpha to theta, and you will change your brain chemistry essentially. So there's something called epigenetics. Epigenetics is basically how your environment can change the genes, how they express themselves. And when we are in such stressful states and constant stressful states that we are living in, these genes can start to operate different. And I have a genetic condition. So this is a big thing for me. And I truly believe that you're able to change the state of your genetic makeup based on how you process things. So yes, you can have genetics that lead you towards a certain lifestyle or a certain body type, but you don't have to be associated with the identity of, well, heart disease runs in my family. Oh, well, diabetics run in my family. You have an opportunity with health and wellness and a holistic lifestyle to influence how your genes express themselves based on the environment that you create, which again, why waking up and the power of meditation and the power of setting yourself up for success with such a good foundation for the day is imperative. Number 7, healthy meal timing and healthy eating habits. So I have had clients in the past who have had different binge eatings. So I've had clients in the past that have had different eating disorders such as binge eating, bulimia, anorexia, and this is all most of the time a deeper rooted issue. So when you start to peel back layers and you start to implement things that help change your life, you start to see things different. The more that you know, the better off that you are essentially when it comes to yourself. So when you start to implement these healthier habits and lifestyles, you have more power. You're building confidence and changing your own life. So one of the best examples is instead of overeating today or eating for pleasure, I'm going to train myself to realize, hey, if I'm full, I don't eat. I don't overeat. I don't eat for pleasure. And when you start to do this 1% every day, little by little by little, incremental wins over time, you stack up bigger wins. This will change the trajectory of your life, and this will be so massive in the long run, especially when it comes to building confidence. Number 8, nature walks are amazing. So I'm in Cleveland. We really get nice weather, maybe 8 months out of the year. Other than that, it's wintertime. But it is amazing in the summertime, in the springtime, in the fall to go for walks. Grounding is a huge thing. I am fully in love with grounding. Just taking your socks and shoes off and just walking on grass. So we are energy, and the earth has energetic makeup to it. So you are recharging the ions of your body when you are touching earth. It is just scientifically proven. That's how it is. So nature walks are amazing. Being in nature, very good at reducing stress and really just getting yourself back in touch with yourself. So I love going for walks without my phone. And, you know, a lot of people are like anxious about it, like, oh, what if something happens? This is again something that you train yourself to where, hey, I don't need my phone. You have to realize that we are addicted to cell phones, and that the further you get away from needing to be on it all the time, and the further that you get away from your brain needing to scroll and endlessly see information and content, the better off you will be and the more in control you will be. And honestly, the more confident you will be in yourself. Number 9, reading is one of the best things that I ever started doing to change my life. Not only is it knowledge packed, depending on what you do, but it also gets you off your phone. It gets you off from watching TV and really the things that rot your mind. So this stimulates your mind, it keeps it fresh, and you also are attaining knowledge and getting off the phone, getting off the screen, and just being one with yourself. Again, the mindfulness is amazing, and I think this is a form of meditation as well. Also, if you are super burned out with your central nervous system, if it has been overloaded and you just do not feel good, you feel drained, burned out, tired, this is going to be one of the best possible things that you can do. Read until you fall asleep, wake up, read some more, fall asleep, setting that time to really just immerse yourself in relaxation and just mindfulness is huge. Number 10. So this is a huge one, and it goes with not being on electronics during the morning, also at night. So again, as you are getting tired, you are starting to get back into that alpha and then theta state, and your subconscious is open again. So if you're watching crime documentaries before bed, that is going to go straight into your subconscious. It's going to be fresh on your mind for the night before. And really, to set up for a great morning the next day and a great day the next day, there has to be a good routine at night. So I'm not saying you can't watch TV in bed. I'm not saying you can't relax and unwind for a little bit, but I'm saying when it is time to go to bed, it's time to go to bed. Your body needs to relax. It needs to get into those states of the brain waves, and it needs to go to bed and to have restful sleep. So this is big. You can meditate before bed. You can listen to binaural beats, and these are all going to be super helpful in you getting restful sleep. So you guys are all awesome. I hope this really helps you guys in really turning the trajectory higher, in increasing the quality of life for you guys. These are all going to be super important. These are things that I've implemented myself, and I wouldn't be suggesting it if it didn't work for me and the several clients that I have. I have a free community called the Better Self Community. It is a totally free community where you guys can go meet like-minded individuals, and you can also get access to me weekly for live Q&As. So that's really all I got for you guys. I hope this helps, and then let me know. Comment and subscribe if you can. Love y'all.